Have you ever wondered what really makes someone a citizen of a country? Is it a passport, birthplace, or something deeper? Today, we're diving into one of the most famous cases in international law, the Nottebohm case, decided by the International Court of Justice, ICJ, in 1955. This case changed the way the world thinks about nationality, citizenship, and diplomatic protection. Let's break it down, clearly, simply, and powerfully. Friedrich Nottebohm was born in Germany in 1881. Before World War II, he moved to Guatemala, where he became a successful businessman. He had lived there for decades, but he never took Guatemalan citizenship. In 1939, as World War II was about to begin, Nottebohm made a surprising move. He applied for citizenship in Liechtenstein, a tiny European country. Why? Because he wanted to avoid being treated as an enemy alien, a German national, if the war spread. Liechtenstein granted him citizenship quickly, and Nottebohm got a Liechtenstein passport. Soon after, he went back to Guatemala. But that's where things got complicated. When the war broke out, Guatemala, like many countries, took action against German nationals. Even though Nottebohm now held a Liechtenstein passport, the Guatemalan government still saw him as German. In 1943, they arrested him and confiscated his property, claiming he was an enemy national helping Germany. After the war, Nottebohm was released, but he lost almost all his property in Guatemala. So, what did he do next? He turned to Liechtenstein, his new country, for help. In 1951, Liechtenstein filed a case against Guatemala at the International Court of Justice, ICJ. The claim? That Guatemala had illegally seized Nottebohm's property, and that Liechtenstein had the right to protect its citizen under international law. This is called diplomatic protection, meaning a state can bring a case on behalf of one of its nationals if another state violates their rights. But Guatemala pushed back hard. They argued, Nottebohm isn't really a Liechtenstein citizen. His connection to Liechtenstein is fake, and that became the heart of the case. The key legal question before the ICJ was, can Liechtenstein exercise diplomatic protection for Nottebohm against Guatemala, even though he only recently became a Liechtenstein citizen without any genuine link to that country? This raised a deep issue. What makes nationality valid in international law? Is it enough to have a passport, or must there be a real connection, a link of genuine attachment between the person and the state? In 1955, the ICJ delivered its judgment, and it was groundbreaking. The court ruled in favor of Guatemala. Here's what they said in essence. Nationality is not just a legal formality. For it to be recognized internationally, there must be a genuine connection between the individual and the state. In Nottebohm's case, that connection didn't exist. He had lived most of his life in Guatemala, had deep business and social ties there, and almost no link to Liechtenstein apart from the passport. Therefore, Guatemala was not obligated to recognize his Liechtenstein nationality, and Liechtenstein could not bring the claim on his behalf. From this case came the famous concept of effective nationality, or the genuine link principle. In other words, a nationality must reflect a real and effective bond, not just paperwork. The ICJ emphasized factors like residence, family ties, social and economic connections, intention to belong to that country. This principle continues to influence international law, especially in disputes about dual nationality, investment protection, and citizenship laws. Today, the Nottebohm case still matters. It's cited in cases about people holding multiple citizenships, investors seeking protection under bilateral treaties, refugees and stateless persons claiming nationality. In a globalized world where people move, work, and live across borders, the question of what makes a nationality real is more important than ever. So, the Nottebohm case reminds us, citizenship is more than a document. It's a relationship between an individual and a state. It's about genuine connection, not convenience. And that's why this 1955 decision still shapes international law today. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Which side do you think was right? Liechtenstein or Guatemala. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.